Hello again. Luke Bug, the Geek of Steel here, and I'm back with another video. My spoiler-free review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Snyder Cut, the film that the world has been waiting for such a long time. It is coming very, very soon on March the 18th. And if you are in the UK, you will be able to watch that on Sky Cinema and Now TV. But you probably know that already, as the marketing for this film has been insane, and it's really helped build the hype and the excitement for the release of this movie. I know many people have taken a day off work on Thursday to watch this film, and I am just so excited to read and watch other people's reactions to this movie, because wow, it was an experience for sure. But as I said, no spoilers from me. I have got my notes that I made whilst watching the film. My mind was on like fire. It was, everything was go. And I watched this film at about 2 o'clock in the morning last week, and I was just so awake, so excited. I didn't even feel those 4 hours go by. I just had a wonderful time experiencing this movie, and that's a good way to put it. It is an experience. So, in this video, as I said, no spoilers. I'm just going to go through the characters, the actors, the story, the effects, the music. And my overall impression of this film. So, let's do just that. So, notes. I've got little things down here to help me talk about my experience. But yeah, from the opening scenes, I was invested. Because it's my boy. It's Superman. That's it. Superman in the first scene. You've got my attention. But don't count on it, Batman, part 1. It set up the story. There was a fantastic visuals. There was a recap, as it was, from Batman v Superman, and how the mother boxes came to be. And visually, everything was perfect. The music, the sound effects, everything was giving me goosebumps. Superman's yell that we heard and saw in that trailer, you felt that death. And it's not a scene that I enjoy to watch, but it was beautifully done. And that's what I got from this whole movie, is that it's a Zack Snyder movie. Lots of slow-mo, lots of very powerful scenes combined with powerful acting, and just that incredible score by Tom Holkenborg, Junkie XL. And I can't wait for that CD to be released, and the soundtrack and the vinyl, which will be released as well. I want to listen to it in my head again. Hopefully when the film comes out, I'm going to be able to just not look at the screen and just appreciate the music. But knowing what visuals will be coming, I know that I won't be able to take my eyes off the screen. And just a 4-hour experience that was just a movie moment that won't leave me. It's going to be there. Like the first time I watched my boy over here, Henry Cavill, in Man of Steel, I want to talk about so much, and I will do soon in some episodes of the podcast of Steel, but I want you to experience this movie the way that I did, going in without knowing too much about it. I know that some people have, they've gone offline, they've gone on a social media blackout, as they want to be taken on a ride this coming Thursday, the 18th, when the film comes out. And I think I'm going to be spending most of my time just obviously watching the movie first, as soon as I wake up probably, and then going online and reading people's, just their reviews, their thoughts. It's going to be a fun day. But yes, we saw lots of people in this opening chapter, lots of characters, lots of story being set, and I keep saying it, but it is a different movie. Yes, there are some scenes that were in the other version of the Justice League, but so much new content, so many new visuals, scenes that we didn't know about, and scenes that we saw in the original Justice League trailer that we didn't get in the movie, we got all of this now, and some. Oh, it was, as I've got my notes, just, it was more emotional, it was more dramatic, more thrilling, more sad, and levels of hope came and went away, and friendships, all that good stuff. It's all in there. But Zack Snyder and the visual effects crew behind this movie have worked so hard. Everybody on this movie has worked so hard, and it goes to show, because this truly is a film that just captures you and doesn't let go from the moment it starts. I've said before that I go to the cinema to escape reality. I want to go in and sit down and be told somebody else's story their way. And that is what I got from start to finish. I was told a fantastic story. A story that I knew how it was going to end, but still so many shocks and surprises, and it was worth the wait, put it that way. It was so worth the wait. And I wanted my hero, Superman, to be in it as much as possible. And I was not disappointed. At all. At all. And I've got him by my side, as always. I'm never too far away from a Funko. And any scene in this film that involved Henry Cavill as Superman, as Clark, as Kal-El, my my cheeks were hurting from smiling so much. And there were a few times in the movie where I did shed quite a few tears, and I'm thankful for those emotions that became a little bit too out of control, because it made this movie more personal to me. And I think anybody that has got love for the characters in this movie, whether it be the villains or the heroes, if you've got a connection to that character, you are going to have a bumpy ride, put it that way. It was all just so... It just took you. That's it. It took a hold of you and didn't let go. And let's grab another Funko Pop. Let's grab a Batman one, because Ben Affleck as Batman throughout this movie, I thought he was a fantastic choice when it first came out a few years ago. It's always difficult, because people have their version of a character. For me, my Batman is Michael Keaton, as I loved those movies. But Ben Affleck as Batman, he made that role his own from the get-go. And Batman in this movie as... he's Bruce Wayne. The Bruce Wayne that we get to see in this movie is iconic. Behind the scenes, when he's nervous, he's not in a good place. He needs help. He's desperate. He's looking for the League. And I thought that Ben Affleck just did a fantastic job in every scene in this movie. He just came out on top. The action, the fighting, the moodiness was on point, as they say. And I want more of it. I think the world wants more of Ben Affleck as Batman. And, of course, the first Justice League, we saw, obviously, all the characters in that. But in this movie, as I said, it's all completely different. This is a whole new movie. If I could say one thing about this, that is that, And Ben Affleck was just fantastic. His interactions with all the other characters were great. And when he went off, obviously, in Hunt of the League, perfection. It was all done so well. And as I said, those 4 hours... It flew by. It flew by. And let's have another character. Well, we've got another Batman. I'm not going to be talking about this too much, but towards the end of the movie, there is a fantastic scene with this outfit, with some other characters that I cannot wait to watch again, because when you see it, you will know why. And I'm looking forward to when people do watch this movie. I've said this earlier. Please drop me a message online, whether it be on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. I want to talk about this movie with as many people as possible. But I do not want to create spoilers for anyone. So just drop me a private message and we can talk about this insane movie. Who we got next? We've got Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller in this movie was charming, funny, a little bit dorky at times, but what we get to see a little bit of his origin story and a lot more scenes, which were, again, beautifully shot. A lot of slow-mo, classic Zack Snyder style, but, I love the Flash. I think he's a fantastic character. He's had many interactions with Superman over the years, and I was hoping for a lot more in this movie as well. But again, some serious scenes, funny scenes. I love the visual effects of when we get to see Flash doing his thing. And, I truly hope that one day I am able to see this movie on an IMAX screen to fully experience those visuals, those effects, combine that with the sound, and it is going to just blow me away more than the first time I watched it. But Ezra Miller as the Flash, cannot wait for that movie. It's another thing to keep me looking forward to, but superb. Next, let's go for the lovely Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Her opening scene was insane. Again, I have enjoyed the Wonder Woman movies and enjoyed her in the Justice League movie. But in this movie, she gets so much more recognition as a strong and incredible performance. The scene that we saw in the original compared to this scene is just beyond comparison. She's faster, she's stronger, she has more grace, she has more fear. She is just an incredible character, and to see her on screen just doing her thing was a privilege to watch. And the world is already filled with Wonder Woman fans, but I think after this film she's going to have a lot more. And, who knows if we do. I know there were rumours and it has been said that Wonder Woman 3 has been given the green light. I want to see more of Diana just letting loose. And that will be fun. Who else have I got on display? I'm actually missing a Funko Pop that I will sneak away to get in a moment. But Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Wow. Everything about Cyborg, to me, is a very unique character with lots of backstory, lots of heart, lots of drama, lots of charisma, and Ray Fisher, from start to finish in this movie, we see him progress from this person that's almost been burdened with these powers to somebody that has embraced them and grown because of them. And it's been said over the years that Ray Fisher is the heart of this film and the key to the story. I can't take those words as my own, but those people were correct. Ray Fisher in this movie was just phenomenal. And I hope one day I get to thank him in person for this movie and this role. I saw him many years ago at the Batman v Superman premiere, and he signed my Man of Steel cap, which is one of my proudest possessions. And he just looked so happy to be there. He was having a great time fooling around on the red carpet, saying hello and taking selfies. And after the world sees his performance in this movie, if we got a Cyborg film out of this, I'd be very happy. The world is going to be ecstatic. And he's made a huge fan base over the years because of his love for this film and love for this character and his passion for the Zack Snyder Cut was, I'm sure, a big part of the reason as to why this film became to be. That, and obviously all the fans all around the world who wanted this movie to happen so badly. Who else have I got around me? Let's have a look. Now, it's not the pop from the movie. I hope I get that soon because it's a very rare one. But it is my dark side. Just there. He's a cute little guy. Now, Darkseid in the movie does look a lot different to this, obviously. But Darkseid is a huge character in the DC Comics universe. And I've always loved his interactions with Superman and the rest of the Justice League. In this film, though, his voice, the way that he looks, the CGI is just incredible. I wanted more, but the way that he was teased throughout the movie really just built up that impact of his final reveal. When he sort of appeared on the screen, just an absolute villain with so much purpose. I want more. This film has made me a little bit greedy, as I want more Darkseid. I want more villains and more backstory. But what we got of Darkseid, it's just, I want to go back and do lots more chapters and go back and just watch certain scenes again. But it's a character that's, yes, has been done through animation many times. And, excuse me, he's had many different looks. But when you get to see Darkseid in this film, finally there in just all his menacing glory, if you can watch this on the biggest screen you can find, then I recommend you do so. I watched it on my laptop. I cannot wait to watch it on my TV. I've bought a new TV just for this experience. But when he comes on the screen, expect your jaw to hit the floor. It is just stunning. I really hope, like with the Man of Steel books and the Batman v Superman books, art books were released with concept art and behind the scenes facts. I want that book to be focused on Darkseid and Steppenwolf, because on screen it's images I thought I wouldn't be able to ever see come to life. There obviously lots of CGI and lots of hard work has gone into this, but they are phenomenal. They can either be standing proud and tall and being very menacing, or it could be an action-packed scene with them in, but they just look glorious, the pair of them. And there's lots of scenes where that blew me away, but there is one where we are learning about, well, it's based on the whole chapter. As I said, I don't want to get too much into the story, so I don't give too much away, but part 2, The Age of Heroes. I want to watch this scene on loop. Just, that would be fantastic if I can have a TV just playing in my room that constantly played this scene. There are elements of many of the Lord of the Rings battles, for obvious reasons, which you will find out. There was so much going on the screen at once that I had trouble picking out the most exciting parts. One very exciting part You'll see it. You'll know what happens because a certain something happens. Let's put it that way. And the origin stories in this movie were done so well. It was a story being told, and I've got things in my head that I want to say, but I won't just yet. But I'm sure we are a generation of people that love to look at our phones and our tablets. You won't pick your phone up for the whole time you watch this film. You will be just taken on an adventure, on a ride of your life, and once it's finished at the end, good luck to you, is what I say. Good luck processing your thoughts about this movie. And it is a movie that is going to be enjoyed by many more than once, because you're going to miss things. You're going to want to see certain things again. You are definitely going to want to hear certain lines again as well, because the heroes and villains, their monologues in this movie were superb. And my boy in this film, Henry Cavill, Superman, was just stunning. We know of the scene in the first film where he comes back to life. He is resurrected. And that was a scene that I was really looking forward to, because it was a fantastic scene. And the fighting, the tension. When Superman is able to let loose, I adore that. You know, he's got a lot of power. We know that. But when he did just go at it, I was very excited. Put it that way. It was just perfection. And yes, we are aware of lots of things in this movie. But that suit, that iconic black suit that we first saw in 2013 in a very kind of small scene with himself and Zod. I am a huge fan of this suit, partly because of the death and return of Superman, and when I saw this in Man of Steel, I was just obsessed, put it that way, and have been so ever since, and really wanted to see him in the suit in the last Justice League. But of course we didn't get that, but we did in this movie. That's not a spoiler. You've probably seen that in the posters and on my Instagram feeds every other day, because I can't stop sharing it. But Zack Snyder, if I could thank you for anything, I will thank you for this moment. This was the one that I did shed a few tears before this scene, but this scene happens about, I want to say, 3/4 of the way into the movie. The music in this film is emotional, okay? It is beyond perfection. The Man of Steel soundtrack is a soundtrack that is on constantly in my ears and on my stereo, because it reminds me of that movie, that time in my life when Superman was back and getting the attention that he deserves. And in this movie, where we see my boy not only come back in just a mind-blowing way, the way that he comes back in this one, and the changes to the story, and so much I want to say. But we've seen the trailers now, and we have seen a certain scene when Superman's fist goes down onto the ground, and you know what happens after that. And that scene, I'm going to have to make another video a few weeks down the line when everybody has had a chance to see this movie, because I want to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, because I want to just appreciate every single second, every frame, because there was something to look at and see there. I'm a Superman fan, if you didn't know. So any scene that has got Superman in it is going to grab my attention. And this suit needs to be seen in all its glory. And when you do see it, you're going to be taken on a ride. And that is when I let loose. And I was excited. I was emotional. It was about 5:30 in the morning. And if I had seen that in a cinema for the first time, my mind would have been blown. There were a few other bloggers from the UK who we were fortunate enough a few years ago when the world was open. We went to see some movies at the Warner Brothers offices in London, and I had to apologise before and after, because if a film I get emotional and I get overexcited and noises come out of me and I clench and I grab people's arms that are next to me. I get excited. And this, as I'll keep going back to it because this has to be one of my favourite scenes. It's when we see Henry Cavill in that black suit for the first time in all its wonderful, beautiful glory. We see it a few times throughout the film, and I'm very grateful for that. There's a lot of Superman in this movie. I mean, obviously, it's difficult to have him in it if a big part of the film is based on the storyline that Superman is no longer here. So we don't see him for quite some time. But when we do, it's when the film truly, truly goes crazy. And just, it doesn't stop after that. It's an action-packed adventure film. It's got everything. And we see all these wonderful characters, including Aquaman, Jason Momoa. As I said, he's in a box. But I don't want to leave. I'm just too happy talking about this movie. And I cannot wait to talk about it with other people. But this film, it's just made me very, very happy. And it's going to make people happy all over the globe. The hype that has been around this movie since the first early days when there were rumours of it existing. And those rumours quickly became facts. And the more that it just took over. This Snyder Cut became a hashtag. It became an online campaign. It became people's mission to get this movie out there into the world. And as I said, it's been well worth the wait. There's going to be so many people that have been a part of this campaign that are going to be just so proud to finally watch this and experience Zack Snyder's vision. It's that. This is a classic Zack Snyder movie. It's got all his elements of storytelling and direction. And it's going to be on loop in my house for a long time. Whenever I get to see it, it's going to be playing, and I cannot wait. But I've got another Funko Pop here. Slightly different. This one came out from the first movie. Ironically as well, when I did get this Funko Pop, it had a little accident, but it worked out perfect because we all know what happened to him in the first movie. Steppenwolf's armor, Steppenwolf fighting, Steppenwolf talking. So much fear, so much fear. Just this booming voice. And hopefully in the future, I will get the opportunities to speak with some of the cast. Who knows what will happen down the line. But I know that whenever I meet these actors that have brought these characters to life so perfectly, the first thing I will do is be thanking them for everything. Because, I've said it before, I love escaping reality. That is why I love comics and books and TV shows and movies. I'm able to switch off. Sometimes in my day-to-day life, I've got too many thoughts going on inside my head about what I've got to do, about where I've got to be, what jobs I have to get done. So for me, movie time is my downtime. And even though I was writing notes throughout this movie, because I wanted to make sure that I wrote down my initial thoughts, I was just smiling from ear to ear throughout this whole event. And I want to talk about the cameos. I want to talk about the other characters that are in this movie. You know the ones I'm talking about. You've seen them on my feeds. But even though I was expecting them to come on, when they did, when they spoke, when we saw them, it was perfect. It was a reveal that I was waiting so long for. And that when it did finally happen, I wanted to just watch it on repeat. And on repeat, and on repeat, and on repeat. But I'm rambling because I can't stop talking about this movie. But all these notes, I've got quotes about some of the lines that were in it, some about everything else. Jeremy Irons as Alfred. So much sass, yet so much class as well. If you're going to have a butler, you need to have an Alfred. And Jeremy Irons, with that wonderful voice of his, was just brilliant. Absolute perfection. And I think there was one line that I did write down. Batman was having trouble getting people to join the League. And Alfred says, I may get this quote incorrect, maybe a man who broods in a cave isn't set out to be a recruiter. I was like, oh. Just this person, this wonderful man that, doesn't hold any punches when it comes to dealing with Bruce Wayne and Batman. He knows how to motivate this fantastic hero. And, yeah, this, as you can tell, I'm rambling. This is me a few days after watching the movie, and I'm still processing my thoughts because there are so many thoughts in my head. But highlights for me, obviously, anything with Henry Cavill in, whether he's got a cape on, whether he's got no shirt on, whether he's got plaid on, everything was incredible. But for me, a personal highlight in my life as a Superman fan was the black suit. Seeing the black suit in all its glory and seeing Henry Cavill in it was just superb. So, we know what happens in the story if we have seen the original film. We know the drama behind it. But now this added element of so much more dark side, so much more Steppenwolf, and the story that we get now, it's more detailed because it's 4 hours long. And that makes you more part of the story. Much like Batman v Superman when it first came out, when the world got the Ultimate Edition, the world fell in love with that movie. And I found out recently that that's coming out soon on 4K, which is going to be added to my collection as soon as possible. But because we get more time in this movie, we get more storyline, we get more character development, we get more villainry, we get more menacing parademons, which just looked terrifying in this film and sounded it as well. But it's just that other fact. This film is a completely different film than what we got before. There have been comments over the last few years like saying, well, how much more footage can there possibly be? How can they make another movie out of this? Well, they did, because it was fantastic. And yes, it was 4 hours long. There were some scenes in the original Justice League that I liked, some that felt very different than scenes we got in Batman v Superman and Justice League, because obviously it came from a different creator's outlook. It was somebody else's vision. But in this film, we got Zack Snyder's vision, which is what we all wanted from the get-go, I believe. But It's a 4-hour movie that you are going to love. You are going to study. You are going to talk about with friends and people all over the world, because we all get to witness this movie very soon. I know that some other people have been very fortunate enough to be invited to events. I have also been invited to the event that is happening tomorrow, which is going to be Monday. This was recorded in the past, but yes, tomorrow being Monday the 15th, there is a premiere event happening. It's on American time, so it'll be another late night for me, but I really don't care, because this particular event is going to have an introduction by Mr. Zack Snyder, and I love hearing his words. I love reading his books, listening about his creative process, and obviously I will get to watch the film again. I'm not going to be live tweeting it. I'm going to just be sitting down with snacks. Don't forget snacks, people. It's a 4-hour film. Don't forget that. It is broken up into chapters, as we know. So we have part 1, Don't Count on It, Batman. Part 2, The Age of Heroes, which was, as I said, phenomenal. Part 3, Beloved Mother, Beloved Son. Part 4, Change Machine. Part 5, All the King's Horses. You can probably, in your mind, get a grip of what happens there. And part 6, This Is Something Darker, I believe. I can't read my own handwriting. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I was very, very jittery. But I will pop these titles up as well in the background. And then, yes, the epilogue, the final part, A Father Twice Over, was very emotional. Very emotional. I can't pick favourite characters, because if I did, it would just be Superman all day long. But for me, after my boy, the Superman, it has to be Cyborg. Not only for what he brings to this movie, why he is such an integral part of the storyline, but because of Ray's performance. Wow. I want a Cyborg movie. But I think after this film, who knows what is going to happen to the Snyderverse. There's already a campaign to get more movies made, to keep on adding to the DC universe. And only time will tell. But we know now that fans have power, as it were, because they want these projects to happen. And if the fans can help, they're going to help, no matter how that may be, whether it be creating a campaign, creating an online convention where people can come together and push these ideas forward. I'm really excited for the future for Zack Snyder. Obviously, Army of the Dead is coming out soon. I love zombie movies, so that's going to be fun. But this movie, the 18th of March, I'm going to process more thoughts soon. I've got a podcast to release in a few weeks with some surprise guests that are coming on. But we want this podcast to go out after the world has experienced it and had time to process. And don't worry, there will be spoilers, but they will be lots of alerts, lots of warnings about said spoilers, because there are things that happened in this movie that nobody knew was coming. And ooh, they're in my head. They're bouncing around in there. We've seen glimpses of this scene in the past in Batman v Superman, and in this movie, this scene, nightmare scene, you're not ready. That's all I will say. You are not ready. I wasn't, for sure. The dialogue, the visuals, the predictions that you think are going to happen. This film is just an experience. I'm not ready to give this film a number out of 10 yet because I don't think, excuse the pun, I can't do it justice with words. But I am so looking forward to watching this film again. From the moment that Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill took me on an adventure with this movie, this spectacular movie, way back in 2013, I've wanted a cinema experience like this, and I got that in this movie. Fantastic. Thank you to everybody that was involved in this movie, the visual effects team that have worked so hard, the sound effects, the music, the direction, the writing, the everything. Zack Snyder, thank you for everything you've done. Henry Cavill, thank you for being Superman one more time, and I'm looking forward for your future appearances as the Man of Steel. I'm going to go now and process some more thoughts and get ready to watch this film again. I'm excited. But thank you for listening. This has just really been a way for me to get my thoughts out into the open, and this is therapy for me. I've got so much to talk about this movie, and when the time comes, I will be recording another video and another episode for the podcast of Steel. So, yes, this film, as I said, in the UK, will be on Sky Cinema and Now TV on the 18th of March, the day after my birthday. And it's getting so much love around the world as well. Obviously, it's on HBO Max in America, but many countries all around the world will get this movie as well. So, to find out where, you can just go to Twitter, follow the Snyder Cut, and you find out lots of information there. And if you can't find out, drop me a message and I will do my very best to find out where you can watch this movie, because I want you to enjoy it as much as I did. And I can't stop talking about it. I'm trying to wrap up this video, but I can't because I want to keep talking. But I will. My coffee, I think, has gone cold. Yes, it has, in fact. Oh dear. That was a mistake. But I am Luke Bug, the Geek of Steel, and thank you so much for watching and joining me on this adventure. I'm going to be sharing lots more content over the next few days, and something special and exciting is coming to do with mother boxes and food. So join me for that. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. You can find me here on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at thegeekofsteel.com, and you can go to my website, thegeekofsteel.com, for more podcasts, more videos, interviews, reviews, and in the next few weeks I've got some exciting interviews coming to thegeekofsteel.com, and I'm not going to mention them just yet as I don't want to jinx them, but I'm positive, and as always, just as Superman, I'm hopeful that they will happen. So enjoy the movie when it comes out. Remember, drop me a direct message if you want to talk about it. Don't share too much online. Don't spoil it for others. Support this movie as much as you can, in the hopes that in the future we will get to see more of these fantastic characters on the screen again, to keep on telling a story that I feel is not over yet. I'm Luke Bug, the Geek of Steel. Have a good day.